Okay, so this is the next video of our comment system. And so let's go through some of the rules that I created here. We have what's called a specific recursion, test recursion, mass recursion. And so I think I ran through some of these before. Let's just go through them just in case we are trying to, because it's been a while since we did this. And let me test results, test rule. This is what it looks like, right? You have a sort of a hierarchy here, and basically, this is what this is saying is we're getting all of the comments, and what we're doing is we're passing all of the comments into, or each comment of all of the comments into our test recursion um, rule that we built, right? So as you can see, this is, if I click test here, well, actually, I have to provide something here. We're going to start out with one, and this is only one. This is one, right? One is small, two is somewhat small as well, right? Three, etc. Four, five, six. Let's go to six here, and you got some sort of hierarchy here. Let's go to 23, and you have 23 is kind of interesting because, like, look, notice that it's got just this many levels, right? And notice that I created a map here with the level and then a comment here, right? And this is for the level basically tells you how far to the right it's indented, right? So for example, if we're looking at comment 23 here, then it's indented. The first one's obviously indented by 0. The second one's indented by 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and so forth, right? And so what you have here is you have um, all of the comments here, and um, this goes into what's called a test recursion. Test recursion is actually our recursive function here that we're using to look at a whole list of data, and then we decide to rebuild a sort of a hierarchy, comment of hierarchy here so that we can represent the data in a hierarchical order, so that it's visually understood and there's more information than just flat data, right? So going back to um, this main rule here, right? There's an image here, and then down here is a list of comments. And for just our testing purposes, imagine if you wanted to imagine if the root of this is actually 44, maybe this one that's 23, or I mean 33, right? Maybe this one that's 22. And so as you can tell, some of these have like different hierarchies, and you just have to you depending on which um, page you're trying to um, create, right? You have a list of you have uh, a parent here, a parent has a child here, and then this becomes the parent of this child, and so forth, right? So it's kind of cool. We built this way. What I really wanted to do was add the ability to, whenever you click on reply on each one of these, and it call box so that you can actually enter some data or actually reply to a comment, right? So you click on reply, and now this thing's showing up right now. So I did some modifications to this comment and reply rule, right? I did some modifications to it. You know what? I'm in fact going to change something slightly here so that we don't deal with rich text here at this level. And um, so that we're dealing less with rich text here. I'm just gonna comment this out, and I'm just gonna keep like a little box here. I'm just gonna save it. This is a paragraph field, right? So whenever I click on reply, this is actually a reply field. You know, maybe I could copy and paste some code in there, and that'll work. We'll see. Hold on. Yeah, it kind of works, right? And it's not saving to anything yet, right? But you can tell that you can click on reply on any one of these, and it properly indents. Nah, the proper, right? Okay, so we're replying to this comment. It's going to be to the right of it, but underneath it too, right? For example, this one, it's going to be to the right of it. This one, this box here is actually going to be to the right of it, and it's going to be directly below this one that we clicked on reply, which which works out great in this case, right? Boom, this still looks good, you know, not too bad. Um, so what we could do now is we could say, well, we have this box here. Um, Perhaps maybe we want to do we want to have a button to the right of this. And so what I did was I created a side by side, as you guys know, nothing goes well the first time. So, we just try to do something and we'll see if it works or not, right? And if it doesn't work, then we'll just change. So notice that there's now two replies here, right? And if I click on reply and hide it and I click on it again, we have two of them here. Oh, I don't want two of them here. What I do want is maybe a button, right? So maybe I want to do a main button, a widget. Let's see if we could add a button widget here, right? Well, actually, we can't. Oh, sorry, my bad. See, we're doing things without even thinking now. So it does not support a button widget inside of here. So we might have to do a button. Let's see, layout, perhaps, or maybe a button array layout. Let's see if this does. Maybe, yeah, maybe perhaps we could do this because then we could just start adding button widgets without specifying the primary and secondary of buttons, right? So widget here, I'm just gonna say label. I'm just gonna give it a reply, right? I'm just gonna reply something. Now, does this look okay? Not really, right? Not really. Let's click on reply again. Let's click on reply. And so this is not positioning correctly here, right? So I'm just gonna have to play with this a little bit, right? So the question is a reply, um, should the reply be up here? I don't know. Let's look up Amazon. Let's look up Facebook reply, right? And let's try to find like an image or something. Okay. So as you could tell, some of these don't have anything to the right of it. Um, if you hit this and you just press enter, it just saves it. You know, it just supposedly saves it. I mean that is okay too. That is not bad. That sort of like approach is really not bad. Imagine if I just start typing here and just moused out of it and it saves. That would be kind of cool. But but really, I don't know if people want that, right? So we might want to like let's say for example, one thing about this is that the paragraph field needs to be lower in height. It's too tall, right? So let's change this slightly and let's say what is maybe short, something like that. We have a comment at the end of this. Right. Maybe it needs to be short like this, and maybe yeah, I don't know if there's a width here. Probably not, right? Um, we could also say refresh after, or what we could do is we could decrease the size of this, right? We could say width, and we could say um, minimize, right? And we'll see what that does. Boom! That looks a little bit better. Yeah, looks slightly a little bit better. But let's take a look at our buttons here. Is there a style here? Because like this square is really like getting to me though, you know? Say button widgets. We got a style here. Let's do a solid, man. Let's do a solid here. Oh. So I actually typed a comma up there. And I think this is a little bit better, right? But perhaps maybe we don't even have to have a reply button here. We could literally have an icon instead. You know, so let's play around with icons here. Let's do icon. Let's look at the documentation for this. Let's search up like reply. Mm, maybe reply does look like this freaking thing. Right? I don't know. I mean, would you guys be happy with this reply? Like, you know, replying to this thing up here. And okay, so that's fine for now. I guess what we could do is we could vertically align something like this. Let's look at verti. Save this and let's go within some align vertically side by side here, right? So we know that within these things we can't really vertically align. But what we could do is we could vertically align this. Let's see if this works. You know, right? Well, that looks a little bit better. Notice that the reply came down a little bit. Boom. Right? And boom. Comma right here. Watch the reply. Boom. Came down just a little bit. Okay. So we might even want to say that this might not be what we're trying to achieve. Who knows? Maybe we might want the button below it, small button here below it. But let's test this out for a little bit, right? Let's chill out, test this out just a little bit. Click on reply. Boom. That pops up. You know, you type down your comment here and hit reply, right? I mean, this looks really standard though, you know. Like, look, check this out, right? We got this. If anybody looks at this, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, this looks really like modern." And so like, imagine if you get like all the way down to here, and you're like, "Well, okay, let's imagine like a proper use case here would be desktop. What does that look like? You know, well, if you got a desktop here, you have like, what if you had a phone? Okay, so I mean, it's still doable, you know, but really, you know, I guess I guess what you can have is you can have different different size. You could focus on say for example just a you could have a reply button underneath here, and we'll see how that goes. But then there could be different options to configure this thing too, you know. So let's imagine that if you built this thing, you want to like reposition the replies somewhere. If you want to option somewhere or like a local variable that controls where the reply is located, you can definitely set that. And it really just depends on your customer to see what they prefer, right? As far as like um, you know what you're trying to achieve. Um, maybe the reply is okay where it's at, but you know you don't want to stress too much over it. What you do want is you want the ability to send out this comment out to a process with the proper data, right? So you have to have the proper data. And if somehow this reply button doesn't work out in this case, right, what you could do is um, you could reposition it somewhere else. But then at this time, you have by that time you have the value and you have to save it to properly specced out, right? So as you can tell, we have some information here, right? And we need a process in order to kick this off and run it on the back end. We also have this rich text. When you click on this, right, you you probably want to kick off a process as well, right? So let's say, for example, this dynamic here, dynamic like here. Maybe what you have is you have a text right next to it. You know, you could potentially have a text right next to it, and the text could be represented as a like two thumbs up or something, right? Like here. Maybe yeah, maybe like two or something. I don't know what you want to call it. Two. Does that represent the number of likes in a comment? Let's look up Facebook replies, and you don't really have you have a counter over here on the right, right? Oh look, check this out, right? You have so here you have thumbs up here, and it's got a number next to it, right? So we could do that to represent what we need to, right? We could do that to represent what we. So I mean, you could have a reply before that, you know, the like and the reply. And if you like it at the far right, then you have all of the so to speak, all of the symbols over there to the far right. So the more you click on this, basically, the more that you can apply something to the right here, like an emoji or something. Um, but that's probably going too far with this. Potentially, all you would want is a reply, and you got to make sure that the date is correct as well. So so it's possible to, let's say, days ago, rich text reply. Um, let me see here. Text align, minimal width. You got collapse here. You got center here. So what you want to do is you probably want to, um, there's icon. There's a size of the icon here as well. That might look a little bit better to match the number two there. We also have this label here as well. Well, not this label here. Well, yeah, it is a label here. Um, so it's actually okay. So link field, you got a dynamic uh, text here, and so you could also trigger a kickoff to a process or something, right? With the right information here. So let's save this change here, and let's go to tests and test this interface. So as you can see, all of these kind of like, we just make stuff up as we go, right? And we're just trying things to see if it works. We know that if we click on this, it could kick something off in the process. click on this, it opens something down here. It doesn't really kick anything off, but until you click reply, reply actually kicks something off, right? So that's good. This looks pretty standard, by the way. Okay, so let me see where I'm at on my time. I'm at 20 minutes here, so I'm thinking that this is it for this video. Just as you can see, this piece of code in the main rule, right here, right? But there is a lot going on over here. There's a lot going on, right? Keep that in mind. There's more things going on over here than you can see on the screen. You can open things up too, right? And that is because we're nesting this, right? We're for each looping through each item in the hierarchy, and we're actually creating it dynamically here in this rule here, which is this rule here, which is what you see here. So you can tell that there's two interfaces here by the icon you see up here. รูป icon รูป rule เนาะนะรูป interface rule เนาะนี่ย่อ inside รูป interface rule เนาะนะ so you can kind of see the reason why there's so little code here and there's so much going on here is because of this, because we have one rule here that's being called multiple times, right? So the next video, what we want to do is we probably want to save this reply, right? So when I click on reply the next time or something, or probably the next time is we want to be able to change this data here. And then we want to click on reply, and that appears at the bottom of this right away. And we'll see how that goes.